Hey guys, so we're going to go into follow-up and some stats a little bit more because it's probably one of the areas that in sales we get the most kickback from, because I think naturally people, as we said before, kind of associate sales with being a really negative experience, but really all of us love to buy. We just don't like the idea of being on the other side. We don't like actually asking someone to buy our stuff. So we need to get out of that mindset. And it's really important that through the whole process of these foundations, you allow yourself to reset your mindset around sales. You are helping people. They have asked for your help, and it is your job to do the best you possibly can to change their life. Now, some people are going to just walk up and offer to be part of your business with really not a lot of work from you. But for you to scale your business, for you to grow your business, for you to be able to have staff around you, you need to be able to master the art of sales, and you need to be able to get out of your own way to really help people and bring them into your business and be passionate about the sales process, because that is the key to helping people. Now, 60% of customers say no 4 times before saying yes. And these are not my stats, guys. These are coming from sales studies all over the world. I'm just sharing them with you so that it's not just me telling you, there's actual facts telling you as well. Follow-up is key. 60% of customers say no 4 times before saying yes, whereas 48% of salespeople never even make a single follow-up attempt. 2% of sales are made during the first point of contact, okay? 2%. Now, obviously, these numbers are taken from a various number of services and products and price points, but the numbers ring true, guys, and the service rings true. So yes, the numbers aren't as perhaps dramatic when it comes to perhaps a $97 sale, but what I want you guys to understand is that this is about follow-up. Okay, this is about you guys understanding the importance of email sequences, multiple phone calls a day, multiple emails to follow up, value, content, your omnipotence and, your omnipresence is everywhere, guys. You need to start to look at where are you for your clientele, for your niche, okay? So 2% of sales are made at the first contact. This means businesses stand to lose potentially 98% of their sales if they do not follow up. As such, only 3% of prospects will sign up on the second contact, and 5% will say yes on the third try. And surprisingly enough, 80% will buy into the sales pitch after the 5th or 12th contact. Okay, 80% of sales require 5 follow-up calls, whereas 44% of salespeople give up after 1 follow-up call. So you've got a very small percentage of salespeople here that are actually doing the work, guys. Okay, and that's one of the biggest things is you guys right now are the salespeople. So you need to look at, if you don't have time for all this follow-up, how can you create that follow-up with systems, automations, and then structured time blocks around your sales experience, and not just focusing on the new leads, but also following up on old leads or past leads, okay? 35 to 50% of sales goes to the vendor that responds first. This is why we want you guys to have your alerts set up, your Slack alerts or your email alerts, depending on whether you check your stuff. You really need to know when those leads are there, because the longer you leave them, people are opting in for lots of stuff now, guys. You need to be on the ball. Salespeople who contacted prospects within an hour of receiving a query were 60 times as likely to qualify the lead as those who waited 24 hours or longer to contact the person. And following up with web leads within 5 minutes makes you 9 times more likely to engage with them. It's pretty logical, guys. They're there. They're opting in. They're on their phone. It takes an average of 18 calls to actually connect with a buyer. Okay, 75% of online buyers want to receive between 2 to 4 phone calls before a company gives up. Okay, this is most people, okay? Because remember, we're so insanely busy. You guys are busy. Your prospects are busy. Everyone's busy, all right? 12% would like a company to try as many times as it takes for them to get hold of them. And 42% of people would be encouraged to make a purchase if the sales rep called back on the agreed upon specified time. And one other thing is, I hear a lot of people do this in sales scripts. Did I catch you at a bad time? Don't give them an opt-out. Ask them a question that they'll feel rude not to answer, which is, how are you? Okay, increases your likelihood of booking a meeting by 3.4 times. So consider a meeting, a consult, a sale, all the same thing, guys. But I want you to take some of these stats, not as Bibles, but I want you guys to consider them as me providing you additional information to really support the fact that you guys need to have automated and structured follow-up processes for you or for your staff to ensure that you're giving people this sort of experience, this sort of certainty, and this sort of positive experience, because sales is the beginning of their experience with you. You say you've got accountability, or you say you've got support. This is the beginning of the accountability process, okay? Now, why don't people buy? It's a very hard thing to deal with, rejection, guys. But you need to understand there's a lot of things going on in people's lives, and you need to continue to provide content. Okay, content and email sequences are usually built around the concept of overcoming objections. Now, if you've done your niche homework, you understand the things that are getting in way of, the 35-year-old mum with 3 kids versus the 25-year-old girl who's corporate. Okay, the 45-year-old dad, the 38-year-old guy who's, in corporate, single, travels heaps. Okay, if they've got very different wants and needs, they've got very different pain points, they've got very different objections. Okay, so you need to start looking at your email sequences, your content, your marketing. Everything has to come together for this one person, and that's why we say do the niche homework. Understand the elegant business model. Not because you can't help the mum and the dad, but the marketing, the experience has to talk to the dad, and the marketing and the experience has to talk to the mum, okay? And when you get on the sales call, you need to know who you're on the phone to, because if you're talking to the 38-year-old guy who travels all the time, you don't want to be talking to him about his kids, okay? Because he's not the 48-year-old dad. All right. So what I want you to do is consider there's a lot of reasons why people don't buy. And that doesn't mean they're not right for you. It just means it's not right now, which means follow-up is critical. The experience is critical, and the education, your Instagram, your Facebook, your videos, your email sequences, your newsletters all need to be relevant. So a lack of unique selling proposition. And I say this because it's why you, okay? Fitness, which was what we're all really selling, is a very product-aware space. Everyone understands the different versions. They understand Pilates, they understand the gym, they understand HIIT, they understand all these different things. They're quite aware. So what you need to provide is why you. Okay, so you guys need to consider, have I done this enough? Have I explained to people? Have I gone through that sales script where I've really made this about them? And have I really looked at my marketing, my Instagram, my Facebook, and explained to people why we're different? Have you done that? Lack of time. A lot of people are super busy, too many things on their mind. Maybe they're distracted. Now, just because someone's distracted on the phone isn't a reflection of you. You just need to think, how many times have I been on the phone where I've been a bit distracted because there's lots going on? Hell, you only need to call me at the wrong time with my kids in the car and I'm all over the shop. So you've got to consider that maybe it's just not the right time, and that doesn't mean you don't follow them up, okay? Concern about costs, it's a really real one. It's probably the only real objection. Poor sales experience. Don't assume that the leads are bad, okay? Assume that you haven't given them a great enough sales experience, either in any one of these follow-up processes, the email, the marketing, the phone call itself, the script. All these things can impact the actual sales experience. And remember, the sales experience is their first experience with your company, so make sure it's on point. Your failure to do enough marketing to establish your name in the field. So this comes down to omnipotence. It comes down to what have you done, your free group, your Instagram, your Facebook, your content marketing, your email sequences that follow up, all these things, your Instagram stories. These are the things that create a sense of trust with the person, the product, and the company, okay? None of these are negative, guys. They're just things you guys need to consider when we're talking about your sales process. It's beyond the script, guys. It's the follow-up, it's the emails, it's the content, it's the value that you guys provide and what you are giving back to the marketplace.